Welcome to True Stories. Imagine moving into what seems like a typical family home, only to find yourself under siege by something you can't see, something violent, malevolent, and ancient. Could you survive in a house terrorized by one of the most violent poltergeists in history? That's exactly what happened to the Pritchard family in the 1960s. What started as small, strange occurrences quickly escalated into terrifying, violent attacks. Today, we're diving deep into the haunting of 30 East Drive, home of the infamous Black Monk of Pontefract. It all began in 1966, when Joe and Jean Pritchard, along with their teenage children, Philip and Diane, moved into their new home in Pontefract, West Yorkshire. The house seemed like the perfect place to start fresh, but from the very first day, strange things started happening. At first, it was small lights flickering, objects moving on their own, and unexplained cold spots. The family shrugged it off as odd coincidences. But the eerie activity escalated. Furniture flipped over. Heavy objects were thrown across the room. And worst of all, it seemed like someone or something was targeting their daughter, Diane. Diane found herself at the center of the attacks. She was slapped, scratched, and even dragged up the stairs by her hair, right in front of her terrified family. The Pritchards realized that this wasn't just an ordinary haunting. They were dealing with something far darker. Then, the sightings began. The family and even visitors to the home started seeing the same thing, a shadowy figure dressed in a monk's robe. This sinister presence became known as the Black Monk, a violent spirit with a terrifying past tied to the very land the house was built on. The legend goes back centuries. Local historians believe that the land where the house stood was once the site of a medieval monastery. The dark figure haunting the Pritchards was believed to be the ghost of a monk who had committed unthinkable crimes and was executed nearby. His restless spirit was said to be seeking revenge. Who was this Black Monk? And why was he so intent on terrorizing the Pritchard family? Was it the location, or was the spirit drawn to something else? Whatever the reason, this haunting quickly became known as one of the most violent in British history. Desperate for relief, the Pritchards called in priests to perform exorcisms, hoping to banish the malevolent spirit once and for all. But instead of quieting the ghost, it seemed to fuel the Black Monk's rage. Paranormal investigators who came to the house left with chilling evidence, unexplained noises, objects moving on their own, and even video footage of the monk-like figure. The Black Monk of Pontefract proved to be a force that no exorcism or investigation could fully banish. And though the Pritchards eventually moved out, the terrifying events at 30 East Drive left a permanent mark on paranormal history. Today, 30 East Drive is a hotspot for ghost hunters, curious thrill seekers, and anyone fascinated by the paranormal. Many have reported strange occurrences, lights flickering, sudden cold chills, and even sightings of the Black Monk himself. More than 50 years later, the violent spirit still seems to haunt this unassuming house. But the question remains, what caused this violent haunting? Was it the restless spirit of the Black Monk, or something even darker? That's for you to decide. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, welcome to our channel True Stories, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more chilling tales just like this one.